So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a sec. But we also do new materials discovery and boundary science. Those are newer tracks in the simulation and optimization. So they're really quantum-inspired techniques, but they're running on classical processors, GPUs and TPUs, tensor networks. Quantum security and communications, we have a whole quantum security group. We have folks who are cryptographers with us, and they work with NIST to set the standards for post-quantum cryptography. Right now, we have finalists in that protocol, in that competition. And we have a whole product suite around security. And then we have our quantum sensing. So we use quantum particles, not for processing, but for building hardware and for sensing and building medical diagnostic devices and to do quantum navigation. So I'll go through these applications quickly because if you have questions later, we can focus on one or more of them. I mentioned this already. I mentioned the CPUs, the GPUs. So those are the gaming. So if you're gamers in here, you know what I'm talking about. All those amazing graphics cards that you use when you game. Turns out they're amazing for quantum chemistry. So we use them for our simulation optimization. We know that one day we'll have the QP, the quantum processing units. Those are coming. IBM and others, Xanadu, they're all working on engineering that challenge, but they're all going to work in an ecosystem. It's not going to be one rather than the other. They're going to speak to each other, and parts of different algorithms are going to be more amenable to certain processors. So some parts of the algorithms will be classical, and that's the most efficient way to go. Some parts of the algorithm have something special, and we may want to go to quantum now. So it's going to depend on the use case that you're looking at. Here, I mentioned this already, what we're focused on, and I'll move this along more quickly. So here, I want to mention here this kind of idea of the quantum threat, and we don't harp on this too much, but it's something to be aware of. A whole bunch of governments around the world are preparing for this quantum threat because already Shor gave an algorithm which, once we have a fast enough, powerful enough quantum computer in place, we're going to be able to crack all of our existing modern, or most of our existing modern cryptography. The cryptographic protocols that we have, most of it, a lot of it, is reliant on the fact that it's hard to factor. And if we have a fast factoring algorithm, which Shor gave, we're going to be able to crack a lot of these RSA-based cryptographic protocols. And in preparation for this, a lot of governments are putting out mandates saying, all government agencies, you have a certain number of days to identify where you're quantum vulnerable, and you need a remediation plan. What are we doing with this quantum threat? And the issue is that it takes years to migrate. So if the quantum computer is a few years on the horizon, if we don't start now, we're going to run into a matter of national security. And what's happening is these SNDL attacks. They're called store now, decrypt later, where bad actors are downloading encrypted data and they're sitting on it. So that when, they're able to, and they have the fast enough quantum algorithms and computers to go with it, they can crack that data and it's still going to be relevant. So in 5 years, it could be that maybe they're, sensitive national security secrets. 5 years, they may still be relevant, say for financial data, say for healthcare data. So bad actors are already performing these attacks. So we have evidence.